Share your screen with the public. What does that mean? Hello, can you hear me? Are you there? Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Am I with you? Can you hear me? Someone say hello if I'm here. Oh my God, it's the Queen herself. Thank you, guys. So this is my first ever live. So we're all going to discover together if this works. So Betsy, hello. Rhonda, hello. Caroline, handcrafted by Gaz. Please let me know if you can hear me all right. Kirsty D. Christine, hello. Glad I'm not on my own. Honest, if you could have seen me trying to get this to work, you would have had such a laugh. I was just clicking buttons in the hopes that it all works. Diane, hi. Did a sickie from going out so could watch this. I love that. I absolutely love that. Hello, I've missed seeing. Oh, I've missed seeing you all. When I figure out how to get the little screen on the side with my lovely mug in it, we will do that as well. But for now, at least it's better than nothing, isn't it? Diane did a sickie. Handcraft, hearing you loud and clear. Fabulous. Thank you, Gaz. Good to see you live. Right, I'm going to say this wrong, so apologies. Naira. Hello. B, hello. Barbara, oh, hello from Florida. We're not jealous at all over here in the miserable cold east of England, but I'll be complaining when it's too hot soon. I'll be saying it was too hot. I wish it was a bit colder. So but it is what it is, isn't it? Jane, hi. Oh, it's so good that I've got quite a few of you here with me, because I did think that I would just be talking to myself. So it's really lovely to have you all here with me. So just a little quickie. So you obviously all know that I'm Michelle. Whatever happened to that lovely mild UK weather? I know it's disappeared, hasn't it, Gaz? So yeah, so Michelle, obviously you know that I'm with Ciao Bella now. We've got some beautiful papers that we're going to be playing with today. I cannot tell you how happy I am to be back with Ciao Bella. So I was with them from sort of nearly the beginning. They did their first design team shout, and I, of course, applied and got accepted. Their papers have come on so much. So when I was first with them, I think over 3 years ago now, they had their paper packs, and they had sort of A4s, 12 by 12s, and sort of 6 by 6, and I think 8 by 8s. And they have come on so much now. They have got ink pads, they've got stamps, they've got stencils, they've got the Vellum packs, they have got the Deluxe paper packs as well. So there's so much. There is literally something for everyone with Ciao Bella. So we're gonna have a look through these in a minute. Still got lots of you coming in and saying hello, which is really, really nice. I'm so glad I'm not talking to myself. As a mum, I do that sort of all day, every day anyway. So now it's nice that I'm really not talking to myself. And Christine Mahoney, I am absolutely going to sell you these paper pads because they are the most beautiful things. In fact, all I've got here, I've got my Deluxe and my Vellum, but stay there. I'm just going to grab the actual paper pads. So bear with me. We'll bring these in as well. We will we'll sell Christine and hopefully the rest of you guys on their paper pads. So let me just, you can see I've been having a play already. I'll just pop these out of here. So look at those. So this is, I couldn't say it yesterday, Ethereal. This is the Ethereal collection, not Ethereal or Ethereal or whatever it was I was trying to say, but it's the Ethereal, and the gold on these just pops. So you have like a paper pad and a patterns pad. So this particular one is the patterns pad, and then you have a paper pad. So let's pop this one open as well, because you're going to love these. Sorry, Christine. Sorry, not sorry. Is that what we say? So let's flip these over. Look at those. They are some of the most stunning papers that I have ever had the fortune, is that how you say it, to play with. I mean, it really does live up to his name, does this paper pad, doesn't it? This is not fair to do to my part actual self. I'm really sorry, guys. It is, Rhonda, it is absolutely top-notch quality. They are just absolutely so beautiful, and something a little bit different as well to what you sort of see out there. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Samperia, Prima, you know, is it Market 49? I always get that one wrong, but all of those kinds of collections or companies I'm a huge fan of. Look at this one. So this is the Morning in Provence. So this is the other one that we're going to be having a little bit of a play with today. Betty, hi, I'm on my lunch hour and I have very few minutes, but I had to pop in. Oh, thank you so much for popping in. Even if it's only for a couple of minutes, it's fabulous to have you here. Yeah, Caroline, the colours are absolutely gorgeous. I'm trying to read and open this pad. This one is just, again, it's absolutely stunning. So two collections that are released together. Couldn't be more different if you tried, but both are absolutely fabulous. It's very French, this one. So if you are a scrapbooker, you have got pages in here perfect for that. If you were a card maker, you are still going to be able to use this 12 by 12 because you can cut it down the middle and you've got a lovely DL card there, and you've got that decorative element. If you want a long card, the DL the other way, you've still got so many elements in here that are going to work perfectly for scrapbookers or card makers. And then you've got all these elements and these tags and tabs that you can cut out. Just look at this. So beautiful backgrounds, beautiful foregrounds, huge, beautiful snippable elements in these as well. And then you get to this back page, and again, you can see you've got tags and tabs and little bags on there as well. So much, but they're the paper pads. I'm going to show you the deluxe papers in a second. Let me find somewhere to put them. Can you hear me? Can you hear me throwing things in my craft room? Right, so where are we? Let's read some comments, because that's the bit I always forget to do. B, yes, absolutely stunning. Shut the front and the back door, yeah, and get out of the building. Definitely, Gaz. Colours are, oh, they are so beautiful, Caroline. I can't tell you. You've just bought the entire collection. Ah, Stamperi's Song of the Sea. Yes, that's beautiful as well, Rhonda. Do we have link to enable us? We do have, well, I don't personally have links, but afterwards I can give you all the links in the world. So this, I think the distributor over here is Personal Impressions. So you can definitely get it on their website. But there's a website called either Mad Hatter or Mad Hatters here in the UK. And they do some amazing stuff. And I know that they've got those on there at the minute, Gaz. So if you're wanting to have a look, go there. Rhonda, yeah, absolutely fabulous for album making. In fact, one of my little albums that I made yesterday, we're going to add some inserts and we're going to add some extra bits and bobs with these deluxe papers. So I've got my little 6x6 deluxe papers here, and I've got my 6x6 vellums. And then what I've also got is some well, they're not A4s, they're a little bit bigger actually. of the Deluxe, but we'll go through the smaller ones first. So these Deluxe papers, these particular ones, they're pearl sheets. So you've got this pearl base. Look at that. Where you have got all that beautiful ephemera on there. So if you're a fan of fussy cutting, there's some real good challenging elements on there for you. If you're not a fan of fussy cutting and you've got some of your nesting dies, you can absolutely use those on lots of these elements. So this particular one, you're going to get 5 sheets in it. Lots and lots and lots of elements in here, but you can see that pearl is beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Just trying to read. I don't want to miss any of your comments. I'm way too nosy for that. Can I ask the tags, etc., are these best cut with scissors or a die? Again, I think that's entirely up to you. If you can do it with your scissors, then do it with your scissors. If, like me, you're not the best at fussy cutting, so you've got certain ones like these where you can use your circle nesting dies. Even if it's this one and you want just to cut that, if you've got a particular nesting die or a shaped die that is going to cut that into a nice circle or a rectangle, anything like that, again, that's entirely up to you. I know Gaz and I know a few others do a scan and cut. You can pop things on your scan and cut them out like that. I don't have one, but I know there's a few people can do it like that. But then you've got lots in here as well that are going to be very easy and simple to cut out. I'm a fancy pants and use my brother's scan and cut. Yes, it's almost like I knew you was going to say that, Gaz. I'm just progressing from the kiddie scissors B. Oh, do you know what? Do you know what I do? And I'll be honest, I am not the best at fussy cutting. So for instance, if I had fussy cut round that, what I tend to do is then distress the edges. Because then you can get away with not being the best at fussy cutting. You can distress the edges and it looks like it's supposed to be like that. So that is the way that I get round it, definitely. B, I'd certainly just use your craft scissors. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, they are on Amazon. Of course they're on Amazon. Oh, can we all see Trish McCarthy? That is my mother-in-law. So everyone say hi to Trish. She's one of the nice ones, though, can I just say? Not that I'm assuming anyone else has got, one of those mother-in-laws, but apparently they do exist. Am I going to get myself shut down in a second? Right. Hello, Mummy McCarthy. Oh. So onto the vellum. So you're getting 6 with these, and these are a 90 GSM, and these are stunning as well. So in this particular one, you've got all those lovely pages there. You again have got more tags and things like that. But don't think, even with that one, don't feel like if you're not great at fussy cutting, you have to cut all those out. Get your 6x6 card front, mat and layer some card up, and have that just as a background. Pop that just as a background. Have just one of them raised with your sentiment on, and it's going to look beautiful. But if you are a lover of fussy cutting, you are going to love these. I find vellum, when you're fussy cutting, I find vellum cuts out. I find I can control it a little bit better on vellum than on normal card. But just look, can you see how many that you're getting in? And I haven't even finished yet. The obligatory butterflies, but these ones are actually really, really pretty. I'm just reading all your comments as well. I can't do 2 things at once. It's too hard. Oh, you have a great daughter-in-law. Oh, thanks, Christine. I'll pay you later. I love, anytime there's a clock in anything, I absolutely love it. And there's one in here and it's absolutely beautiful. So those are the vellums. Those are the speciality or the deluxe papers, which are just amazing. And then we're going to bring in the bigger ones. And again, you can see that I've already started on these. I made a baby album with Ciao Bella first year's collection. Yes, I had that. Oh, I'll have to go have a look, Rhonda. Definitely. Look, so you can see that pearl that it's printed on. So how beautiful does it look? So I've obviously been playing with that particular one. Look at that piece. You can see why these are their deluxe papers. You really can. Shall I pick up the pace a bit so we can get some crafting done as well? But again, look at this one, that deluxe paper. It is just, when the light hits it, absolutely beautiful. You can pay Christine with paper pads. Thanks, Betsy. That's a great tip. And then onto their vellum. So the pearl sheets are a 120, so they're a lovely weight. They're not too heavy. If you're wanting to do lots of mats and layers, they're not going to add too much weight to your cards. And then the vellum, these are a 90 GSM. So you do get one white sheet in here, and then you get, look at that. There you go. They're just beautiful. And then the rest are patterned. Again, I've been using this one today. But look at this one. Again, I know you get a lot of wood affecting things, but I absolutely love that one. It's very distressed. It's very me. It's gorgeous. I want it. Look at this one. It's just, you see why I said it's very French, the chateaus, and I'm not going to attempt to say any more French words. The pate, I can say that one. But Moulin Rouge, I can say that as well. They're just gorgeous, aren't they? So that is the ones that come with this particular collection. So shall we pop those to the side, because then we will just create a few little things. So let me just reach up and bring these down where I've been having a bit of a play. So this is one of the particular ones that I didn't show you. That is that beautiful that pearl background printed onto that lovely pearl background. It's just, these are the pads that you are going to get, and you are just going to look at, you're just going to stroke, and really not want to play with them. I mean, I'm here to make you play with them. That's my job. But they really very much are like that. I am loving them all. Those are my kind of colours. Yeah, Betsy, they're just stunning. The wood effect one, Diane. Yeah, absolutely. Not sure how you would use some. So looking for inspiration. Ah, perfect. This is not fair to do to me when I'm poor. I'm really sorry, guys. No, stop. I love all of these, Christine. I'm sorry. I am really sorry. But I think when we get a deluxe paper or we get a vellum, I think we're very cautious about what we can do with it, because we're never quite sure. So we're just going to have a little bit of a play. We're just going to create a few little different things. And then hopefully you're going to leave my live. You're going to go make yourself even poorer, Gaz, and buy some stuff. What is the name of this collection? Because I forgot. So this particular one is Morning in Provence. Province or Provence? Provence. Let's see if it says it on here. Oh, bear with me. Yes, that one's Morning in Provence, and the other one is Ethereal, but we'll get to that one in a minute. So very simply, I've just got a 5x7 card, and in my stash I've got some purple textured cardstock that is really going to just work absolutely perfectly with this paper. And then we're going to bring in an embossing folder, because I don't think we are confident to emboss our vellums, so we're definitely going to do that. Love these papers. The colours are beautiful. Marlene, they are so beautiful. They really are. So I've got a 3D embossing folder here, and I think it's like a 4x6. But again, it doesn't, well, it's A6. It says right there, A6. So we're going to pop this in. Remove some of this mess to the side. I'm going to bring in my MIDI so we can run it through. Now, have a bit of a play with your sandwich combination, because if you just put your vellum in, it's not going to be thick enough. So you've got two options. You can get some spare card. I can find some. Get some spare card, just one sheet, and you can pop it in there with it if you want. Or you can pop it on the outside and have it as a shim. But I'm going to pop it on the inside. And we're going to line that piece up first. And we're going to pop that piece over. And then we're going to close it. And then we'll run it through. So I'm using my midi, so we know that I don't need any extra plates or shims if I'm going to be using this. So open that up straight away. Turn it round the right way. And look at that embossing. Let me bring it right up so you can see it. Can you see? So I know you've got those white cracks, but let me move that to the side. You're going to find that that's going to happen a little bit. Just let me find a piece of black card for you. Third time's a charm. There you go. So it's not cracked all the way through. It's just a little bit more embossed there than it is in some of the other pieces. And if I bring in this piece that I did earlier, I've got lots more sort of crease lines there. And again, I think it adds to the charm. If you don't like it, you need to just have a bit of a play about with the amount of pressure you've got going through. And the bonus is you've got the card that's embossed as well. So in fact, it's embossed that well. It's embossed all the way through 2 pieces. And these are a 250 GSM. It's a 500 and my vellum as well. And it hasn't cracked it at all. So again, we've got all those options here. I've got that lovely vellum. I'm definitely going to bring in some inks. Ciao Bella do some of the most amazing inks as well. I was saying, didn't I? They've got a dusty range. So it's got that lovely dusty effect. And then you've got their aging range as well. They're all an opaque, so you can heat emboss with these. And that look absolutely beautiful. So what we're going to do, you can colour these. You can colour your vellum with your pens. Any sort of markers that you've got, anything like that. Michelle, what do you do with rice paper? Rice paper. So it doesn't take much to distract me, does it? Rice paper. Let me bring this in. So this is obviously my pencil pot. This is what I've done with rice paper. I've got some rice paper on each side of these. So if you've got anything wooden, you can just pop a bit of rice paper on there. If I'm using rice paper, then I will use this Mod Podge. It's a brilliant glue. So you're going to pop it down on your wood, or you're going to pop it down on whatever. It's just like a glue, but you're going to use a brush. Use that, pop your rice paper over the top. The great thing about rice paper is, and Ciao Bella, I've got some of the most amazing rice papers as well, is you can rip them. So you can rip just little bits and sort of build it up. So if you're wanting to build up lots of sort of layers and texture, but without adding lots of bulk, a rice paper is brilliant for that because it's so thin. It's just going to sit there. Do I have some? Look at that. It's almost like I knew that you was going to ask. Shall I pop that to the side for now? Ciao Bella, their rice papers are absolutely divine. They really, really are. So you've got some of this. You've got either your card base, or you've got some wood that you want to cover, anything like that. So it rips beautifully. So what you can do is you can just rip that little piece that you want to use, and you're just going to pop it on there, and it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. Oh, do you know what? The hubby's just come in with a note and said, Rhonda said, what do you do with rice paper? Because he thought I'd missed it. But I didn't. Look at me. I'm on the ball tonight. Yeah, what do you do with rice paper? I'm just reading to make sure that I haven't missed anything else. Handcrafted by Gaz, because I was going to ask too. So yeah, so if I'm using rice paper, you absolutely can use your tacky glue if you've got it. But what I'm going to do, if I'm going to use my tacky glue for my rice paper, I'm going to pop some down on here, and I'm going to get a paintbrush, and I'm going to brush the glue on here. Or if you're using the Mod Podge, you're going to pop the Mod Podge on, and then you're going to stick it down. And then what you can do is you can be bringing in other elements over the top, not just ripping your rice paper. If you want to put a full piece of rice paper on whatever it is and just have that as your background, and then build your card layers up over the top. That looks fabulous as well. But what also looks nice is if I've got that piece up there in the corner, if I rip another piece, we can pop that in the bottom, and then you can build it up. So if you've got an embossed image behind, so if you've used a background embossing folder, and then you can layer bits of rice paper over the top, that always looks nice as well. There's just, but I love doing MDF and anything like that, so they work beautifully. So let me bring this in again, because when you've popped your image on there, you just need to let it dry a little bit, and you're going to bring in, look, a little piece of sandpaper, and you are going to go down the edges here, and it is just going to come off so easily. And even round that decorative piece there, you just bring in your sandpaper, and it just cuts it off perfectly. Absolutely beautiful. So rice paper really is such a fun thing to play with. I know I always use the words play with, because I think it is that. Have a bit of a play about with everything, and see how it all goes together. But if you've got any more questions, if you want to ask anything more specific, but I hope that did help, Rhonda. Stamperia, some beauty. Oh, I think, to be honest, I think that one I picked up was an old Stamperia one. Didn't mean to. Oh, no, that's all right. It doesn't take much to junk journaling, yes, but it doesn't take much to distract me. But that's what I'm here for. If you've got a question, definitely ask. A little set of desktop drawers. Perfect. It looks, and it sands off the edges so perfectly, does your rice papers, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, you're very welcome. Never used rice paper before. I love using rice paper. I must admit, I've started using it a lot more now. It's just a lot of fun. You can, again, you saw me, you can rip little bits off. And because of the nature of it, because of it being rice paper, it looks perfect when you've ripped those edges. So you can build it up almost like decoupage. Is it called decoupage? Those kinds of papers. So you can literally, if you want to, you can be layering those over each other to cover. So if you've got lots of sort of ripped pieces left, little bits, you can really start to build up a lovely background. So that's another thing to be using with those. I'm probably going to think up of lots more and keep telling you, keep bringing it in and telling you about that as well. Oh, you shared my link. Thank you, Christine. That's very nice of you. I should have decorated my ink pad storage. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Mod Podge, I can't recommend enough. You get so many different ones, and then you get the ones that, I mean, this is an antique mat. So it's a glue, and then it's a top coat as well. But you get dishwasher safe ones. You get ones that are perfect for outside, things like that. But I love my Mod. I always want to call it Modge, and it's Mod Podge, isn't it? I think we should rename it. I think we should rename it because it makes it easier for me to say it then. Michelle, you need to give a class on this stuff. Seriously, I'd pay. You've just told me you skink, Gaz. Right, so this is that vellum. So in this collection, you do get just a clear piece of vellum. Right, just bear with me because I've got someone keeps messaging me, and I can hear it pinging next to me because I forgot to turn it down. Right, there we go. No more distractions for now. Give me 30 seconds and I'll be distracted again. Right, so ink pads, they've got the most beautiful inks, the dusty range and the aging range. And I think by the names, you can quite sort of tell how, I'll bring this one in. There you go. You can see it a lot better then. How they sort of work. And they work perfectly with these collections as well. So let me bring this. So I've got this beautiful mulberry bush, and as you can see, it's going to work absolutely perfectly. So all we're going to do is I'm just going to bring in one of my brushes, and those petals on there, let me just make sure I've got the correct one. So I've been using these earlier and I don't want to get them mixed up. So it goes on very light. It goes on really, really pretty. So let me just turn that round. So again, this is we're not sure what we do with Vellum, but they take your inks really, really well. They take your colouring pens really, really well as well. How many times in 1 minute can I say really, really well? There we go. So can you see how shiny it is? It's because it's got that opacity to it. It's an opaque pigment, so I can heat set this, or you know, with my embossing powder. I'm going to bring in, pop this out. In fact, now let's pop that now. So I've got this olive orchid. Honest, I need lessons in reading, don't I? Let me pause for a minute and read some. Packing my bags. Mum lives in Norwich. Oh, lovely. Are you coming for a visit, a holiday? Hello, Silv Sparkly. Oh, I love that, Silv Sparkly. Me and Gaz can car share and join you too. That sounds lovely. Oh, you could all come and visit me. We could all go to the coast and have fish and chips on the seawall and an ice cream afterwards, and then maybe a craft class. It sounds great. Oh, I'm on my way with Caroline. Yeah, love it. I can collect you from the ferry. Oh, that's definitely something I want in on. Right, so this Mecca Gold, again, my Ciao Bella ones, that centre, I'm just going to use my little stippling brush and I'm just going to add ink to that centre. Now, it's what I love about Vellum is it's very forgiving. You can add your inks to it and it's really subtle until you pop it onto something, and then it's a lot bolder. But I'm wanting it really subtle for a reason. So then let me finally bring in this olive, and I'm just going to, just with the edge of my blending brush, we're just going to blend down those leaves. And again, you don't have to be perfect with this, because just the nature of Vellum, something about it says it doesn't matter if you've stayed in the lines. So if you are a beginner, don't be scared of Vellum. It's just absolutely perfect. So then what I'm going to bring in there is this. So again, the die, well, the embossing folder that I used, it comes with that die. And because I've run it through, my Vellum I'd run through with the card, it seemed a shame to waste it. So you've got options here. So you can have this behind your Vellum on your card. You don't have to put any ink on this bit at all, and you could just ink up this bit. So if I bring this in and show you where I've inked up the card instead, and again, it looks a little bit of a mess, but once you pop your Vellum over it, it really subtles it down. It makes it very subtle. And again, it makes it pop a little bit. So you've got so many options. And in fact, I've even got one here where I heat set it. Can you see? I took quite a while to ink all that up, and then popped my embossing powder over the top, and I just use this one. So you can see I've got a huge, it's super fine, and it's just the best embossing powder. So you've got the options. You've got the clear, you have got it embossed up, you've got it just inked up a little bit, and then your backgrounds, you can either have them coloured. What I've done with this is I've just took a black pen and I've just edged it a little bit, because I'm going to use that one. I'm going to decide in a minute which one I'm going to use it over. I think we're going to use it over the glossy one. And you probably can't see as well as I can, but that black line that's really bold there, once you pop it again over that Vellum, it makes it really subtle. it still makes it pop a little. I could do, actually, you know, when I always joke about take a picture of me, but, you know, put a filter on. This is the filter we need. This is filter. We all need Vellum filter. Are we still talking about car sharing? Let me get my passport. I love that, Christine. That's a long ride from New York, isn't it? Let me know. I'll catch a flight. Actually, as much as we joke about it, wouldn't it be fabulous if we really could all get together and have a huge craft along or a craft weekend or something? That would be amazing. Let's get Michelle the most likes Ciao Bella ever had. Oh, that sounds good to me. We're slowly getting crafting done, aren't we? But please, if you've got any questions, even if it's not related to this, if I can answer it, I definitely will. Right, so let's pop those to the side and we will bring in to this card. So literally we're going to do a nice simple card. So I've got that lovely purpley lilac-y textured cardstock. I've just got a lovely 5x7 card. And then we will pop this down. I've gone down 1/4 inch with this border. So originally I'd cut a piece of this because it's absolutely gorgeous. Again, gone down another 1/4 inch. And then I was going to use this, but because I've put that green on and I'm popping it on there, it didn't quite tie in for me. So what I then went and did was I decided to use this one. So let me just move my ink pads somewhere. I have a huge desk, but I've got no space at all. So I decided to use this one because if I bring in that again, they've got that lovely purple, but that I think it ties in so much better because you've got green in the background, you've got green from that pattern popping through, and then I've got green on my embossed image popping through as well. So for me, this particular one felt like it tied in and worked a little bit better. So let's just trim it down. So what did I say? So it's 7, isn't it? So let's trim that down to there. And then 4.5 wide. Let me just... Did anyone see what I did with my card? See ya. Right. So if I bring that on now, how beautiful does that look? And then bringing this on, where's my background piece? Just twist that till the pattern matches. I felt it looked a little bit better, but actually, I'm not even sure now if I want to go a little bit more subtle. I think I do. So let me just move this again. But before I pop this down, I was saying, wasn't I? I like to distress things. And I think that this one just works perfectly for sort of that distressing. So I'm really just very carefully, we're going to distress those edges. So you don't have to do it a lot. You can have this as distressed as you want. So either the the school run on a morning with the kids, which is really distressing, or when you finally got them home at the end of the day and you're just a little bit dishevelled. You take your pick. So all I've done there is I've just ripped it down and I've just curled that side across, and I'm going to do the same with that. Just curl it over, and again you've just got that lovely distress there. I'm going to do it again at the bottom. I think these deluxe papers, especially this particular collection, does it really, really well. I've already planned a trip for 2025. We'll push it back if needed. Would be awesome. I've read a lot about the crafts in the US, but we don't seem to have that sort of thing here in the UK. Yeah, B can make all. Oh, Ben can make all the. Ben can make all the food. You get your requests in, and we'll get him baking and cooking. Don't worry. I could never cover all that prettiness up. It is very hard to do that kind of thing. Again, we talk about gutting the middles out. So if you know that you've got an image or a topper that's going to go over, gut the middle of your card, because it's definitely something that you don't want to waste. So again, decisions. I've got this one cut down as well, and we're just deciding which one we want to use. It's too hard. It's just too hard. I'm not sure. But again, this is the good thing about it, isn't it? And this is the mindful thing about crafting, is that we can have that bit of a play, and it really takes you away, doesn't it, from all those stresses. So I'm going to bring that purple in again, and here we're just going to add a tiny little bit of ink to all those edges, because again, these take your inks beautifully. So just adding a little bit of ink, and we're going to pop this down when I find my glue. No matter the size of your craft room desk, you'll only ever end up working. I know, you really do. And you've got, you know, a huge desk, and you fill it with just everything that you sort of push to the side while you're crafting, and then can't find a thing. Can't find it. But I must admit, I've always been untidy. Well, according to my mum. I think it's organised chaos, but, you know, whichever you want to call it. Right, so I'm going to pop that on there. I'm going to bring in, let me just find my tape pen. So all I've done with this, I was telling you, wasn't I? I've just edged it with a black pen. It just means that when I pop it on there, it stands out from it. I'm just going to pop some tape on here. Now, I love this because you can't see that tape that I've just put on the back. If I'm popping vellum on, I don't put glue everywhere. I don't think you need to. I will put it in sort of random spots to make sure that it's going to stick as much as I need it to. So then I'm going to pop that on there. But then again, so the only other thing that I'm bothered about now is I feel that gold is a little bit too bold, because the rest is quite subtle. So I'm just going to bring in my purple. I've already got purple on there, and I'm just going to go over it just a tiny little bit, and it will just take that back a little bit for me. And then I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to pop just a couple of foam pads underneath. And then oh, that is so pretty. I'm hoping that you're talking about something that I've just created, Betsy. I can't craft without the TT workstation. It keeps everything. I know. So let's pop that on there. So what we also have in this collection, when I find it again, I was showing you, you've got all those lovely snippable elements in the vellum, and also in this as well. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to pick one, which is very hard to do. One that I'm going to be able to cut out relatively quickly. Let's use this page. So let's just cut a few of these. And again, I'm not going to be too precious about that cutting, because I'm just going to distress those edges a little bit. But I've got to, so a tip for you. If you are not brilliant at fussy cutting, so I've got another tip for you as well. I saw someone do this ages ago, and it looks absolutely fabulous. So when I'm cutting down here, I'm going to cut like this, okay? So just in and out, just a little bit. And then so far down, we'll go in quite a big piece and then back out, and then just random wiggles with your scissors. And then let me bring that piece of black card in. So you see how it's cut, almost like it's been tore out of something or it's aged. Add some ink to those edges and it looks fabulous. So again, another way to sort of get round if you are not brilliant at that fussy cutting. And I actually think it looks quite nice once you've done it a couple of times and you've got over the, oh my God, I'm making a mess down the edge. It looks lovely. It looks good. And what you're doing is you're not making it uniform at all. Let me bring that back card in for you. You're making it very wibbly wobbly. And those little big dints in are almost like those where you saw me ripping my paper earlier. I keep forgetting to look up and read your comments. I don't want to miss anything. Although I've got the husband. Can you believe Ben sat in the room watching and making sure that I'm not missing any comments? I like that a lot. So let me bring in this one because I want to get that album. So again, I'm not cutting it straight. I'm doing that wibbly thing so I can get away with that not looking perfect, but it's still going to look okay. I mean, I do practice a lot with the fussy cutting. It's just not my thing. I have to really, really concentrate. There we go. So we're going to use these three. So we're going to have a little bit of a play of where we're going to put them. And as much as this pains me to do, we're going to trim this one right in two. Because what I can do then is I can tuck it right under. And then what I've got here is I can use this bit on the other side. Because I've tucked that piece under that's ripped, you getting twice the amount of texture and depth by doing that. So let me just find my poker tool again. I always pull the wrong end off. So then what we're going to do is we're going to just curl that corner up. We're going to bring in some of that ink. We're going to add that to the edges. So it really sort of pops from that background. So curl that edge up, pop that under there, and we're going to glue that down. And I'm going to glue it down with some, and I can get it off my finger, some hot glue. Right, because I want some depth, I want some height, but I don't want foam pad height. And by putting my hot glue on, it means that then I can tuck something else underneath there if I want to as well. So again, let's add just some of that lilac just to the edge to make it pop. Let's curve that bottom corner up, add a little bit more, and we're going to tuck that one under there. There you go. So just random bit of glue, tuck it underneath, and make sure that curls up. So this is just a brilliant way of adding all those layers, but because it's these deluxe papers and because it's the vellums, you're not adding the weight. So let's trim that one in half, and we're going to pop that there. This is where you want to be bringing in some of your flowers, any little bows, things like that, feathers. If you've got any of this in your stash, this is absolutely brilliant as well. It's this what I'm looking for. So I've got a few flowers. So these are Prima, I think. And have a bit of a play as to where you think that you want these to go. Because what we're doing is we really making that sort of centerpiece with that vellum stand out. So let's pop bit of glue. Again, tucking those edges under there. And because I've used the hot glue, it means that I can go in and I can just roll those corners up now. It's just little things like that that's going to add a little bit of texture. I'm going to pop that under there. Do we like those there, do we think? I don't need that one because I'm going to pop this here. Now, I know it says album. You could use any sentiment that you wanted. If you've created a card like this and you have put album on, you, of course, can. This can be an insert for your album. Or if you are creating an album, then that's just going to work perfectly. So give it a bit of a wiggle. And then, again, a little bit of glue. Popping that on there. And I think I am going to tuck those under there. So I don't need those on. Are we still discussing this this huge craft weekend that we're going to be doing? The fabulous pokey tool. It's a Lisa Horton one. It is fabulous, isn't it? Because obviously I've got my pokey tool on one side and I've got my little gem picker upper on the other. And the bonuses is all those crystals in the middle that are fabulous. So pop this one just next to it. And then don't get rid of these. So those little bits that I've just cut off of the stems that I've just cut off. Let me find my other pokey tool. It's in here somewhere. Oh, there we go. So this one. Those little pieces that I've cut off, pop them on your pokey tool and spin them round. And what you get is you get one of those lovely little twizzly things. And they always look amazing poking out of there as well. So let's find a little space to pop that underneath. There we go. So can you see how lovely is that coming together? So I think I'm done with that because there's just a couple more things that I want to show you. But I think for now that card is done. So let me pop that to the side. Oh, I don't know how I'm supposed to find what else I'm supposed to be showing you. Let's have a look. Hello, hello. Hello to anyone that I've missed. Love the wibbly wobbly. What is the fabulous pokey tool? Yeah. That poke, it's a Lisa Horton one. I'm not sure if she's still got them on her website or not. But yeah, Lisa Horton. Where is it from? I got it off of her website. In fact, I didn't. I told a big fib there. When I met Lisa Horton at Hobby Maker, and I was like, oh, I like those. She was like, here you go. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. She's like the nicest person ever. I don't have a gem picker upper. I know, I totally forgot. I've been using this pokey tool for ages. And then I pulled the wrong end off one time and I was like, oh, and I'd forgot. So I'd been using it and forgot that it was even there. Oh, who's yelling? Oh, Kiri. That card is really, really lovely. Picked up lots of tips too. Always wondered when I would use a glue gun. I use my glue gun all the time, especially, so let me bring this in as well, especially for things like this. So all my flowers, all my gems, all my ribbon. But when I'm creating something, not junk journaling, because I'm not quite a junk journalist or a journaler, but just to pop my toppers on. So again, let me bring that card in. When I'm popping them on and you just pop in a little bit of hot glue, it means your topper or whatever it is, it doesn't go down flat and it adds that texture, it adds that movement, it adds that bit of depth and dimension. So you will find that I always use a hot glue gun. So let me try and find, isn't it gorgeous? So lovely. So let's pop those up there because I did. Do you like the bow that I made? So that's again with vellum. I'll show you how to pop one of those together in a second. But so just with some of my circle nesting dies, I just cut some white borders out. So any of your circle nesting dies, you're just going to use 2 of them. I've got this is already backed with some acetate, and then that beautiful French paper. Not French paper, but you know what I mean. I've done exactly the same. So I'm going to pop that on the front of here. So again, I'm not going to use my glue gun for this, because this needs to go down nice and flat. So just going to go all the way around. I did think I was going to be dead nervous and not speak. But then when I said that to my daughter, and she just laughed at me. I mean, I don't know what she means. But I've been so nervous all day. I can't begin to tell you. I mean, I've done it as a living for the past nearly 3 years, but I've been nervous about this one. So popped acetate, white card. I've used a 300 GSM, and then again, I'm using that beautiful deluxe paper. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Carletta. The stuff. It's stunning, and it's the papers. They are just amazing. Oh, Gaz, thank you. I'll pay you later as well. Girl, you're amazing. You have all your friends here who love you. I know, and I love you all. I can't tell you how appreciative I am of all this, definitely. Right, so what are we doing? I've got that one with the acetate. We're going to bring in this one. So where are all these tiny little bits? Let me find. Again, we're using these bits because they are so useful. Don't think, wouldn't use them. How would I use them? Where would I use them? Because I can promise you that you will use them. So what I want to do is I want to just trim a couple of these little bits off. So I'm going to trim this little vase off. And again, I find it easier to fussy cut with vellum than I do on normal paper and card. I don't know why. I think vellum's a little bit more forgiving for you. So we've got that one. Let's trim that. I'm going to call it an anchor. Let's trim that lantern off. So again, the trick is to turn the paper, apparently. I do forget every time. I suppose it doesn't really matter as long as we get there, doesn't it? So let me just trim that up just a little bit. There we go. So what I want to do is this piece with the vellum. I'm going to pop that on there. So I'm going to use, so if you've got some finger lift tape, or if you've got one of your tape pens, or your red liner tape, if you want to use that as well, that's going to come in handy for sticking, especially to your acetate. So I'm just trying to figure out which was the back to that. So just popping a couple of those on there. I want to get a couple of these butterflies as well. Let's definitely cut that one out. So we're going to make a nice lovely little topper, but just again, just something a little bit different to what you would normally see. There we go. Really concentrating now because I've gone quiet. Very useful, good point. We all love you and we got you. Thank you, Gaz. So trimming this back up. So you can see that I've got a couple of pieces on the acetate. And then what we're going to do is we're going to decide, I think we're going to decide on that one. So let's just move my butterfly that I've just cut out for now. And again, I've just used the circle dies I've got in my stash. On the pattern paper, it's exactly the same size as the plain. So we're going to layer that round. And then I just want, so let me see if I can find it. Because I said to you there's some clear acetate in here, because I've used loads of it, look. But of course, when you want that one piece, it's gone. So bear with me. It's got to be as, ooh, in fact, let's use this instead. Although no, because it's going to sort of cover it up a little bit too much. Right, did anyone see what I did with it? Actually, you see, a blessing and a curse of how thick this acetate is you can't, I want to pop it on top with a little bit of height and you can't really see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I'm really sure I did cut it already. Let's have a look. No, that's all right. So all we're going to do is I'm going to pop that on there and we will just trim it round. So let's, I will get there. All we're going to do is we're going to layer that over the back and we're going to pop this one on the top. We're going to have, again, maybe a butterfly or something in there, and you've just got a real double layer. And again, it adds that depth. It draws your eye in when you've got multi-layers of things. So if I take this first, and then we can trim round that once we pop it on. There we go. So just get my scissors on the edge and just tuck it under there enough to trim it carefully. It's so awkward being left-handed sometimes. It's almost like everything's working against me. There we go. Let's trim just under there. There we go. So we've got two lovely pieces now. That's the one with the vellum, and we're going to pop that one over the top instead. So we're going to add a little butterfly on there. And what I can do is, because we're going to have that little bit of height, I don't necessarily need to glue this perfectly flat. So I can lift that wing a little bit. Let me, what else could we pop on there? I mean, so you've got that little gazebo on there. You've got the cart of flowers. They are absolutely just beautiful. So we'll trim this one out because we've got that butterfly there as well. So hard to talk and fussy cut. There we go. And I'm going to pop that on there. And I haven't cut that edge brilliantly, but I'm going to pop it over the border. So when I've got this one on top, you're not going to see it anyway. So there's always a way, isn't there? So let's pop that bit glue there and pop that one on there. And then, so either it's entirely up to you now with some foam, foam on a roll. We won't be singing that today, can I just say? Let's just get this one. I've got to say though, I've got lots of rolls of foam, different thicknesses. They're just so handy for everything. So let's trim that. We could put some, let me just grab that. throw in my, can I find my sequins? Oh, I can. I mean, I wasn't planning on creating it as a shaker. I was just planning on creating some depth, just almost like a double topper. But, well, why not? Why not? Let's find those purpley ones. Let me see if I can open it. So these are those gems that you can buy for nail art. They're really tiny and they're absolutely perfect for something like this. They're just a little bit different to using a sequin, which we tend to use all the time, don't we? So I don't know if you can see, because obviously that acetate, but you've got a lovely little scene in the background with the butterfly and that cat. And then you've got a lovely little scene on the top as well. And now it's obviously a little shaker element. I'll just move my glue gun back to where it belongs. And then we're going to do it again. Let's find a little sentiment style topper. Trim that out. Please don't. What did I miss, Diane? Rhonda, you would. No way. Ah, the song. I would never. Never, never. And then we're going to pop that on there as well. So let's give it a little bit of movement, just a little bit of wiggleness. Wiggleness is definitely a word. So push those two sides together when you're gluing it, and it gives it just a little bit of height. So we've got a lovely, I mean, it's actually quite nice from the back. So if you wanted to put some ribbon through and just hang it, you absolutely could. But I thought that is just lovely. So I'm going to pop that to the side. No, you can't see my desk anymore, but that doesn't really matter. A small card. It's just a 4x6. I've got some of that beautiful deluxe paper. And I've also got a piece of vellum. Now, they're absolutely beautiful separately, but you pop that together. How amazing does that look? It gives you that multi-layer. It gives you all that print that we can get on some of the papers that we get, but you are using two amazing, amazing papers together. So I'm going to glue these together. So let me bring in, I'm making sure I'm getting it the right way. It's way too easy to put vellum on the wrong way. So let's just glue that straight over the top. It's exactly the same size. Try that again. How lovely does that look? Just me? I think it looks fabulous. And now we're just going to rip it. There we go. Because what we're going to do is we are going to, when I find my foam pads, we're going to pop the bottom piece onto some foam pads. We're going to give it some height. And we're going to give ourselves a nice little pocket. So I just want it all around the edges. In fact, let me let's pop a little bit. So I've got a lovely raw ripped edge there. Let's ink that up, definitely. Take those off. Just reading your comments, making sure that I've not missed anything. I want the link to, you want the link to, what is that the link to? I definitely missed that bit, didn't I? So we've got that on some foam pads. This is going to go on flat. But what I'm going to do is just going to trim the top away. So literally 1/4 of an inch, if that. because then when we pop this on, you've got that lovely rip in the middle. So let's glue this down as well. And I've cut these exactly the same size as the card, so it's a 4x6. There we go. So you've got that lovely rip, you've got that lovely pocket, which you can now, all these tags that you've got, you can pop in. If this is for someone's birthday, the little message can go in the front. But besides that, it is just a little bit of fun. This could absolutely tuck just in there if you wanted it to. Let's pop a sentiment across the bottom. So let me, I can find one. I mean, I can find one. There's plenty, but it's not finding one. It's deciding on one, isn't it? So let's bring in, oh, decisions, isn't it? Let's bring in this one. I love this. Oh, in fact, that is going to look perfect, because what that's going to do is it's going to go right over that tear, if I can cut it properly. Just talk amongst yourselves while I just cut this out. There we go. So let's move that out. That's going to go lovely there, just over the top. So let's pop that there. That can go behind. Oh, I had those clocks, didn't I? The clocks, there's a full page of those. Look at that. How could I forget those? Definitely with circles, with clocks, I tend to always use my nesting dies. Your craft room must be fit to bursting. Gazzers, I can imagine. I'll drop you links when Michelle's done. Thank you for that, Gaz. I don't know what you're doing, but she's going into a cutting comb. I'm so hard. Suzette, yes, the papers are so pretty. And you can see that I am surrounded by them. It is definitely such a hard choice. And again, as we know, they are so much beautifuler, so much more beautiful in person. I mean, they look lovely here, but when you get these home, you are just going to, you're just absolutely not going to be able to stop looking at them, stop playing with them. So let me just pop a little bit more glue in here. And just, when I'm creating like this, I will pop glue just up the middle there, because what it allows me to do is it allows me to come in and have a bit of a play by tucking other items underneath, and you can still get that really lovely ability to be able to build things up as well. So let's pop this underneath. And then we'll pop, oh, that one go there. Love that. Nice. So you've got those double layers, the Deluxe and then the Vellum. And I've got this huge bow that we're going to pop on the top. Now I've done that out of Vellum, so it's very easy to do. Let's pop that to the side. I love this. Let me bring, so we'll use this one. So I'm just going to trim a piece from the top. We're going to trim it about 1 to 1.5 inches. So let's do this one 1 inch. Let's do it a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to cut it in half as well. So just under 9 inches wide. Now, if you've got one of these, absolutely brilliant. If not, you don't necessarily need it, but it's got a corner punch and then it's got a notch punch. So I'm going to pop the ends in the notch side, and you get, let me bring that black piece of card in again. You get that lovely notch there. You're going to bring the other side round and you're going to notch it. And then you can measure this, but I'm just going to do it by eye for now, by sort of seeing how much is at each side. We're going to notch there. And then I'm going to line that up in the middle. And I'm going to notch there. And that's the first part of my bow. Did anyone see a look? And then this is going to be my middle bit that's going to go in there. So I'm going to cut another piece because that's a little bit too short. So again, just bring this in. We did it 1 inch this time, didn't we, to make it a little bit shorter. Let's have a look. That will do. Just trim just down there. And then I'm just making a lovely little circle, lovely little band. And then just flatten it. Try to get that seam in the middle at the back. And then carefully pop that in there, roughly judging the middle. That was very rough, wasn't it? But that's all right. So and then all you're going to do is you're just going to pop that on the top. You're going to get a strip of, I'm surrounded by all this vellum, and can I find the piece of vellum I'm looking for? No. Did I put it under there? No. We'll use this piece, just trim it down. So then, bit of glue there, pop that in the middle, pop a little bit of glue on the back, and then you're just going to wrap that thin piece in the middle, round, trim off any excess. And what you've got is just a little bit wonky, but we're fine with that. A nice little bow that's just going to pop right on the top of my card. If you want it to stand out a little bit more on your card, let's trim a little bit. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer again. So we know that I cut that bow at 1 inch, didn't we? The card is roughly that long. That was a very rough measurement, wasn't it? If you really want it to stand out so much more than what it was, just pop a little band of card across the top. Do you know that someone's just said they love the Ciao Bella Indigo collection, Rhonda? They have had so many beautiful collections out. They did one called Vintage Diary years ago, and that one was absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure if you can still buy certain collections, but again, so you've got that lovely little ability to pop your tag in there. So that's just a few of the things that you can be doing with the Vellums and the Deluxe. I've got a couple more things that I'd like to show you, if that's all right. I think we've got enough time, haven't we? I've not been talking too long. So we're going to have a look. I'm going to try and tidy up a little, because we're going to have a look, oh dear, at these. Everything's stuck to each other. Let me move those to the side. So these ones. Does it count as tidying up if I just shove everything off my desk? I think it does. Right. You've seen it now. What have you seen, guys? I've missed it. Why is every Ciao Bella collection I see just everything? They really are. They have the stamps to match. They have the stencils to match. You've seen the ink pads. They've got. I'm just using Vellums and deluxe papers at the minute, but I do have some rice papers coming. So maybe my next live can be with some rice papers. But so we've got the vellum. So this is the ethereal. Figured out how to say it now. And you've got, again, you've got the 6x6s in the deluxe and vellum. And you've also got the 6x6s in, the A4s. I think they're just a little bit bigger than an A4, to be honest, in the largest. So this is your ethereal. Now this is what I call everything. I must admit, I didn't think this would be for me because it's really bold, but it is my absolute all-time favourite. It is the most beautiful collection I've ever seen. Sometimes, you know, when you're having a look at it and you think, I'm not sure if that's for me. Trust me, I think this is for everyone. So those are the vellums. They're sort of the golds, but it's like a yellow gold. In these are just off the charts. Now, these are printed onto gold. So you've got that lovely gold background with these deluxe papers, whereas you had the pearl with the collection that I've just used. But just look. I mean, again, when the light catches it, it is beautiful, isn't it? Really beautiful. I must admit, when I got it, I just sort of sat and looked at it for so long, just looked through them. You've got all the script, you've got crackle in there, you've got those geometric shapes, and then you've got that marbling effect on top. All sort of things that you think you necessarily wouldn't think would go together, but it does. Absolutely beautiful. So you're going to get 5 pieces of these deluxe sheets in there. You get 6 of the vellum, and then again you've got those smaller sheets in this pack. So you've got all those fussy cutting elements. Look at those. Now that is what I call a butterfly. That is the most stunning butterfly. Do we know what I did with my black card? You need to keep your eyes out for me because I put things down and I'm not really sure where I've put them. Look at those butterflies. And then when the light catches it as well. So you've got those in there. You've got, again, beautiful swirls. Now, if you're not great at fussy cutting, you can use that as just a full background all on its own. You don't need to, if you've got a background paper, this can be your background paper because vellum, again, it's perfect for that. It's lovely, isn't it? And then you've got that one as well. I like to think that's me. I think I'm very ethereal. I think I could be, I suppose, if I didn't have this lovely Yorkshire accent. And then again, you've got some frames and you've got some little tags, some little sentiments on there as well. So those are your vellums. Pop those to the side. And then your smaller deluxe papers as well. I love these. You've got that lovely script on there. Look at those flowers on there. They're almost flaming. They're almost on fire, aren't they? Beautiful butterflies with the cogs. Look at this one. It's almost like a reverse print, isn't it? And then you've got those clocks. So you've literally got so many across those papers. You've got sort of many options and choices for things that you can be creating with those. So what I want to do first is find my project. Where's it gone? It's here, look. So we're going to use one of these deluxe papers and we're going to use, I'm not sure which one I want to use now. Because what we're going to do, in fact, I'm going to stick with the one that I decided on. But you can see how hard it is. I'm not sure I would be able to cut into it. I just want to sit and stroke it. Honest, I did for so long. I don't know if you can hear this. It's even got a texture to it. So it's not just a flat paper, a flat pattern. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Anyone want to buy all the paper pads I have from another company so I can replace it all with Ciao Bella? I knew that was you, Gaz, before I even looked at your name. They are beautiful, beautiful collections. They really are. And the thing is, when you've got a beautiful collection like this, it really sparks your imagination and your creativity. There's so many things that you want to do with it. As much as you don't want to use them, there's so many things that you want to do with them. And it's so much better to have it on a project that you can be looking at every day rather than sat on your shelves. Oh, my word, stunning, Sylv. Yeah, absolutely. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this little mini album in that I created yesterday. If you saw my my video, my YouTube tutorial that I put up, you'll have seen me make this. So I used I used the paper pad. Look, that is the paper pad to go with it. And then we'll open it up and we'll go through. So I created it just a little bit different. So we've got 2 sets of pages in there, and these are all the paper pads. Or the papers from the paper pad, and you can see how beautiful that all these are going to work together. So you've got your deluxe papers. You don't need to use lots of these because your paper pads are so beautiful. Add in a little bit of your vellum and a little bit of your deluxe, or lots if you really want to go to town, just is really going to elevate it. And then we got to the middle. Look at this. So I've just got some of the little tags. I've got some of my own little ribbon on here. So I thought what I didn't do and what I want to do is add almost like a bit of a spine where you can pop your, whatever it is. If it's on your shelf, you can be saying, well, whatever's in there. If it's for a baby album or, you know, the kids or anything like that, it can be for those. So I've cut this piece of mount board down. It's going to fit on my spine perfectly. My spine on my book is 2 inches by 10. So I've cut this. So I've got a nice little border all the way around. But what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it in this gorgeous deluxe paper. So you can add and be very frugal with it if you want to. So you can add it onto your spine and you've got a real big pop of it right where you can see it, right where you want it to be. So let's pop that on here and give it a second. Just burnish it. Rhonda, no. I've seen their launches from the last month or so. Is that Ciao Bella or someone else? I'm not sure I would be able to cut into it. No. Papers are stunning. Can't afford to just stroke. You want to use these. These are going to take whatever it is you're creating to the next level, definitely. Michelle, look what you have started. Sorry, not sorry. I'm just sharing my love of stuff, paper and card and all this kind of stuff with you guys. So I'm just looking for my craft knife. It's here somewhere. I'll tell you what, we won't bother because I can't find it. I wonder if I can get someone to come in afterwards and tidy up for me. I think that would be an amazing thing. I wonder if I can pay one of the kids to come and tidy up for me. Do you think they will? No, I don't either. Right, so I'm going to bring this in. Oh, it's there, look. I found it. It was where it belongs, which is why I couldn't find it. I was just watching your DL album yesterday on my to-do list. It's a nice and simple one. The way that you create the pages on the inside, so simple. A nice, quick one to put together, but looks absolutely amazing, definitely. I'm in love with that paper. Yeah, absolutely. So great to see you live. Sarah. Hi, Sarah. So sorry I'm late. Just back from the hairdressers. Oh, do you know what? I really need to get to the hairdressers. It's probably a good thing that you can't see me. It's a bit like a bird's nest at the minute. So these tools that you can see, I've got them from So is it Craftalia, that website? I think it's Craftalia. And it's for your album making. This one, you can see, sits on the corner of my mount board perfectly. You cut that corner away and it gives you the perfect corner. So no worrying about getting your corner right, judging it right, or anything like that. Just pop this on the corner and it just does it for you. Now I'm pretty sure, so it's Helen Griffin, isn't it? For she's Simply Made Crafts, Helen, isn't she? And I think she's got her own collection of these out. So you can get them on Craft Stash, I'm pretty sure, as well, if you wanted something like this. So what we're going to do is what I always do. We're going to fold that over and give it a good burnish. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. I'm doing it this way. Gives you the most perfect edge. And then I'm going to do the same with both top and bottom. Just pull that out. And then we're going to turn that back over. Now, it's entirely up to you. You can fold both these sides in first or these sides. It doesn't really matter which you go for. But you want to make sure that you've got your wet glue right up to the butt of your mount board and then bring that out. I'm going to do the same there. And then what that does is it means that it's glued up the sides and on the top as well. So let me find my tool, scoring tool, bone folder. Right, so what you then want to do is these corners, you're going to sort of press down and you're going to bring it in. So just up the side of your mount board, press it down, bring it in, and do the same at this side. Press it down and bring it in. Now, you're not bringing it in on an angle, but what you're doing is you're bringing it in enough that when you fold it over, you have got a perfect edge. So you're almost like just tucking it in. So just by doing just that little bit there, if you forget to do that, you're going to end up with little sticky out corners, and it's not what we want. So again, I bring in a piece of black card. Look how perfect that edge is just by doing that. So we're going to do it again. Just going to press it down and we're going to bring it in. And it doesn't bring it in a lot, it just tucks it under. There we go. A little bit too much glue there, but that's all right. There we go. And then making sure it's nice and flush and burnish. And there I have got the edge or the border for just on there. So you can see I've got a nice pop of that deluxe paper without having used too much. And it just ties in absolutely beautifully. So then all we're going to do now is we're going to glue this on. So I'm going to use my tacky glue always. And when you are doing this, make sure either with your finger or a spare piece of card, or if you've got a glue spreader, you need to get it right to the edges. And then we're going to pop it under here. And judging that I've got it right where I want it to be, we're just going to burnish it. So I'm going to open my book and or album. I'm going to press down from the inside and just give that a couple of seconds while I read some. Michelle, can you tell us where you got the corner tools? Yes, I got mine from, is it Craftalia? Is that how you say it? Because I'm really terrible at pronouncing things. But I know you can get them on Craft Stash as well. So, but yeah, and they're cheap enough. It also came with, so I'll show you the whole set. I've got this, which is obviously the ruler. And this is, so you know when you have got your, I don't have 3 pieces, but you've got your spine, and then you're going to have your front of your album and the back of your album. These sit in the middle. So when you're gluing them down, it gives you the perfect spacing all the way right down. And then that way as well, you've got the perfect spacing across the top and down the middle. So that absolutely, it even comes with a little instruction thing. So it even comes with all the instructions. Look at that. So that's sat on your shelf with whatever it is that you want to pop on there. You might want to pop nothing on it. But, you know, Joseph, age 2, that's my eldest. You know, you can really categorize them, but just adding that pop looks absolutely fabulous. So we're going to pop that to the side, because something else I love to make is little pockets for in my albums. So using one of the, I love the noise it makes. Is that really sad? So using one of the deluxe papers, using one of the vellums, just creating some little pockets. Again, so if I bring in my album, we're going to be able to pop this one down here. And then you've got, obviously, it opens up. You can be popping stuff in it. And then we've got that one for up there. So if I pop those up there, I'll just... Definitely running out of space now. Let's bring in this piece of paper. Again, absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to bring in my trimmer and we'll just create one of those pockets really quickly because they're really simple and easy to put together. So let's cut this particular one down. We're going to cut it down to 6.5 by 5.5. I'm going to go 5.5 high and 6.5 wide. Right, let's pop that here. Bring in my scoreboard. I always need a second to just think about what I'm thinking about. So in the 6.5 inch side, so on my long side, I'm going to score this at 3 inches, and I'm going to be careful because remember it's quite a lightweight. Did I say it was 190? Oh, this is 120, sorry, and then the vellum's 90, isn't it? So 120. Give it a nice score. Go up and down a few times rather than going in heavy. So we've got 3 inches and then 6 inches that we're going to score at. And then we're going to turn it round and I'm going to score a 1/2 inch at the bottom because that's going to be my bottom tab. And then we're going to score at 4.5 inches because then that gives me an inch that is going to be my tab that folds over. So pop that down. So again, if you have got deluxe papers and you don't want to use loads of them, you want to be a little bit frugal because they're beautiful, then this is the way that I do it. You can create little pockets, little tabs, little tags, things like that, where that is the main thing that you're going to see. So using your deluxe papers on it is the absolute perfect way to get away with not using too much, but you still bold and right there, center stage, just like it should be. So all I'm doing is I'm scoring all of those score lines. So with my tab on this side, I'm going to attempt to find some scissors. Oh, she has it in a bun. Me, I've got my hair in a bun. Absolutely. It's almost like it's my signature style now at the minute. And do you know what? I did my hair before I went live and it looks really lovely. And then I realised that I couldn't figure out how to put the little camera in the corner. So Gaz, I'm going to be ringing you later. Yeah. So with my tab on the side, the only little bit I want left is that inside bit. So we're going to just cut that bottom corner away. And I'm going to cut that top corner away. And when you're doing this, keep folding it. If you're not quite sure where you're going, keep folding it over to make sure that you've cut it exactly where you want it to be. So I know this bit needs to go because my pocket or my tab is going to fold over from the back. So again, just bringing in my scissors and trimming. So let's fold that over, pop those down, and you can see I've got my lovely tab. I don't need both of those at the bottom, so we're going to trim this one away. And again, so I've got both of my tabs on that front bit. So when it folds over, what you're seeing is that lovely fold line rather than the edge of the paper. That makes sense? And then I've got my tab to fold over. And all I need to do is find my tape pen. Let's get another one out. The other one, it's gone. It's lost forever. So trim that down, fold it over. There we go. And then I just trim that corner into a little bit of a wedge. It means it's going to fold over a lot neater and with less bulk. And there you've got a little pocket. So you can close that however you want. You've got all those toppers, remember. Pop a little topper here, what's just glued at the bottom, and then when this folds over, it's going to tuck under it. Or you don't have to have anything on there at all. On this particular one, I've added some vellum on the inside, just so when it opens up, you can see it lovely. So we can be popping either or of these in here. So let's pop that one in, and I'm gonna use, do you know what you can do? So when you're making any kind of album, any kind of page that you're popping in, if you've got, it can be those big ones that like Jodie does from Tonic. It can be ones like this that have just got small little pages. When you like all those flips and there's flaps and it opens up and it opens out and you can tuck things behind, always stop. So I was just about to glue this down and I was about to glue it in. I was going to glue it all over. But actually, what I can do is I can just glue that side. So I can bring in something else and be able to tuck it under. So you've got the ability to tuck something under there, and you've also got the ability to have something in that pocket as well. Obviously, this is on a lot of a smaller scale. I could add let me cut this very quickly because we've gone off now. Because this is my love, this is my passion. I love creating albums and things like that. So let's trim this down. Let me just fold it in half. I'm just going to do this very roughly for you guys. You would have it trimmed a lot better and a lot neater. So what we can do is we can glue this onto here. That piece is going to glue in here. And then what you've got is you've got a page that is going to open up. Obviously, this is going to be done in something a bit more matching. And then you're going to bring in some, pretend this is just a piece of paper. You're going to bring in a piece of paper to cover up that seam. Okay, that is going to be glued to it. Do we understand what I'm doing? That is going to be glued to it. So when you open your page up, you've got something that's going to go in there. This is going to open up to reveal whatever this is, but you're not going to glue it at this side either, because then what you can do is you can have something else tucking under there, or you can have some element that pops out. But by adding, you know, little things like this, it just means that you've got the ability to have so much more on that page than just that. You're going to gift it to someone, they're going to look at this and they're going to think, oh, there's something in there, that's lovely. And then they're going to be like, oh, but it opens up. And then that's going to open up. It could even be another one of these if you wanted it to be. So you could have those two on there. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So before you glue anything down, think to yourself, is there an element of that I can leave unglued so I can tuck something in it so something else can come out of it? That kind of thing. I got a little bit excited there. Do apologise. Love the tip regard edges. Yeah. just stunning. The papers are amazing, aren't they? I love a flip and a flap. That's it. Absolutely. So sometimes we go to glue it in, just stop for a second and think, if I add something, just what have I done with it? Oh, it's here. As simple as that. Obviously, it would be in matching colours unless it was being covered up. But something just as simple as that to add extra elements, extra flips to your book. I really need to make an album like this. In the baby album I made, I went way overboard. Oh, yeah. But it's just amazing, isn't it? The only worry is that whoever you gift it to is really not sure how to do all those flips and flaps. That's always my worry. And I think most of the time it's very self-explanatory, isn't it? But I'll be making one for each of my grandkids. I have a grandkid coming in September. I'm very, very, very excited. Can I just say? Flaps and magnets, Hannah, absolutely. Yeah, magnets are absolutely your best friend when you are creating anything like this. And you need those, right? So they're called neodymium because they're really thin, but they're really strong. And I get all of mine from Amazon. And it means that you can have that layer of card over rather than just paper. And it's got that really good magnetic grab. You can always put a pull me on a tab. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can do that. I know someone was saying the other day on a post that I saw that she, when she sends the card to her brother-in-law or her sister or something like that, when she knows that it's going to arrive on that day, she sends them a little video. She just sends them a little message showing them how to open it. So when they've got it, they can look at that little video and be like, that's how you do it. Put a pull me on a tab, or when you're in the pub, guys, pull me. That's why I made the videos. I did it for nephew. Oh, that's a great idea, Rhonda. Naming the package, brilliant idea. Caroline, yes. So my birthday is September the 9th. I think I'm saying she. The baby is due about the 20th. And my mum's birthday would have been the 23rd. And she passed when I was 39, so a year ago. No, what am I, 46 now? So she passed 5-6 years ago. So it'd be just Joseph's luck to have the baby on my mum's birthday, and it'd be my mum reincarnated. I have a stack of them attached to my squeezers. So great ideas. I think I shall be avoiding any flaps. I love that. Absolutely love that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just pop a bit of glue across the bottom and just down that one side. So when I pop it on here, what it allows me to do is bringing in all these extra elements, and you can add them in the sides if you want. Remember, you have got all these to use them. They look absolutely amazing. But again, if you just wanted to add an extra piece in there, you absolutely can. That can be the one that you can remove, and that's got either the gift of money in. It can have those ticket stubs from whatever special occasion it is in there. There's just so many reasons that we make these kind of albums, and just so many ideas, isn't there? I wear the Pull Me t-shirt to the pub. I love that. Oh, yours is the 23rd. Oh, I think all the best are born in September. Don't hate me, everyone. I'm sorry. Half my family share birthdays. Oh, that's crazy. Rhonda, you're September as well. Absolutely. So then we've got this one. This is a nice little one, exactly the same as this. Shall I do it? Because it's nice and quick. I just wanted to show that you can create them with vellum as well. So this one, I need my trimmer first, don't I? So we're going to, because my top pages in my album are roughly 3.5 by 3.5 inches. we're going to trim this one down to 3 inches high. Oh, and we're going to go 6.5 inches wide. And then bring this in. And vellum is always, it's not trickier to score, it's trickier to fold, especially when you've got that tab on the end. So on the long side, the 6.5 inch, we're going to score at 3 inch, and then we're going to score at that 6 inch. Let's put this out the way. And fold. This piece, the middle bit, folds really, really well. But when you've got a small tab, that's the bit that tends to be a bit more of a struggle because it never wants to fold straight. It always wants to fold on an angle. So what I found I always do is I'll squeeze it gently in the middle and I'll bring it gently out. And then once I know that it's followed that nice straight line, then I will go in and I will give it a good burnish and make sure that I'm quite happy with that. So let's tape a pen. So folding that right over. And I know I haven't put a tab on the bottom like a normal pocket. So it's literally, it's a hole. If you wanted the tab on the bottom, you just add, if you remember, that extra 1/2 inch and it folds under. But I've left mine off for a reason. We're going to use that little notch. And again, I got this from Ethereal as well. And then I've got that little little tab at the top. If you forget to put your bottom tab and you want it closed, just glue the bottom closed. It really doesn't matter. But we're going to bring this in, and then what you can do with this particular one is exactly the same. Let me find something. Let me just looking for a piece of card. Here we go. So what you've got is when you glue that down, you've got the ability to have something that is going to sit all the way through. And again, if you're not gluing that side, you can have something sticking behind there. Entirely up to you. This one I have closed the bottom off, so something would sit in perfectly. But I'm going to pop this, we'll pop, I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? Let's pop that one on. Always remembering the seam, why do I always call it a seam? My birthday's the same as Mum's and great uncle in Feb. He's indoors. He indoors, his sister, dad and aunt 1 day apart. Oh, in January. And himself and another sis 1 week apart in April. They always do that. They always come all together, don't they? It's funny because our wedding anniversary is August and it's the 11th. And then my brother-in-law, his is about a week later. My mother-in-law's birthday is the 26th. My son's wedding anniversary, I think, is the 27th. And then Oliver's birthday is the 29th. And he's 18 this year. I can't believe it. Yeah, so August is one of our really busy months, definitely. So let me just pop a little bit of glue right up the middle, and we're going to pop that in. And then what that allows me to do is I can have some ribbon tucked under there and under that side as well. It also allows me to have something decorative that is going to pop out of the top and the bottom. And again, it's just something a little bit different. But what you're definitely going to do is bring in all of your different textured ribbons. So I've got lots of lace here. I've got this one as well. It just ties in. The colours are absolutely perfect. Lots of different ribbons in lots of different textures in different widths. And then let me pop that under there so you can see it. it just, again, it's that tactileness. It's that when someone's flipping through, they are wanting to touch, they are wanting to lift all those flaps, they are wanting to stroke. I know that sounds incredibly weird, but you've got then the ability to do that. And the ability to add little bits, absolutely. I can get it in everywhere. There you go. So if I tuck this just under here, down the side, you can see just how lovely it looks. It's almost like a mishmash of things that you've thrown together, but works absolutely perfectly. So let me close that back up. So if I close that back up, you've got that pop of that beautiful deluxe paper. So, I mean, the only other thing that I'm really going to do is I'm going to finish decorating all of my pages in here. And because my pages are 3x3, 4x3-ish, and 5x3-ish, it means I can use lots of these in here. But because my pages are small, I'm getting away with using a small amount, which means I'm going to use, or I'm going to be able to use it over so much more. But someone said earlier about what do you do with rice papers? So this would be perfect. I mean, I don't have a perfectly matching one, but this would absolutely be perfect if, so let me just tear a corner. Now imagine that it's a matching sort of colourway, and pop just a corner there, and glue that down. And again, it adds that little bit of texture. And if you don't want to glue the full side down or the full piece down, get a little bit of lace, pop your rice paper there, or one of these, and add a little bit of lace underneath. I don't know, you can't really see that, can you? But building those textures up. So rice paper is brilliant for a beginner. If you don't do anything else with it, just adding little bits, just little bits to your projects, and it looks amazing. It really does. So we've been here 2 hours, haven't we? I can't believe you're all still with me. I love it. Michelle put it in the bottom pocket. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Oh, Rhonda, that's so sad about your sister. I'm really sorry I missed that, but beautiful that you still celebrate for both of you. Yeah, absolutely. Best people are born in August. Well, my son Oliver would absolutely agree with you on that one, definitely. If the ribbon is too white, tea stain it, absolutely. I mean, if you've got your inks, you can stain it with those, definitely. But tea stain or coffee works absolute. Oh, you've done it. Rhonda, you beat me to it. Or coffee stain, absolutely. Made an album for my mum and she won't use it as it's too nice to use. Kim, I love that. My mum would have been exactly the same. Would have said and done exactly the same, absolutely. Your ideas are just amazing. Well, I hope you could follow them, because I get an idea in my head and then I talk a million miles an hour because I want to tell you. I'm so excited about it. But I suppose that's a good thing about this. Do you know what? This is not my last live. I've absolutely loved being able to sort of read your comments and reply straight away. When I figure out how to pop that little screen in the corner, you will get to see me as well. But that's my call to Gaz in a little bit. He's my computer guy. So pretty with all those papers. Yeah, Sylv, definitely. Hannah, Kim, just be like Rhonda and just making beautiful albums. Yeah. Slightly translucent. When it's glued, the colour underneath will show through the rice paper. Yes, absolutely. So if you're covering up, if you're putting it on your paper and you think I don't want to cover my paper, because it is translucent, you still get the effect of your paper underneath. So you're not covering anything up, not really. I've made a few now. Yeah. So have we got a date for our craft meetup? Listen, Diane, I'm available whenever you guys are available. If we've got people flying in from the US as well, I'm here for that too. Definitely. Right, so I am going to let you guys go because it is 9 o'clock, and I'm sure that no, of course you're not fed up of hearing me talk, are you? But I'm always available. Thank you, guys. Do you know, I thought to myself, I'll ring him before and ask him how I put that little, the little screen in the corner, and I never did it. And once my anniversary card is done, I think I'm going to start on all my tonic memory books. I've quite a few. They have got some amazing memory books. Are you a member of Jodie's got that page, hasn't she, on Facebook, which is just for her memory books. That's an awesome page. Thank you so much, Michelle. It was really fabulous seeing you again. Did you forget how much I could talk? Oh, Carlin, I've loved it. Thank you for joining me. I'm here all the time. Anytime that I'm loving this. Can you say, I'm saying, I'm going to go, and then I can't stop talking. But I really am going to go now. So thank you all so much for joining me. I've had a blast. You've managed to follow everything that I am saying, which is always a bonus. I am going to be doing a Ciao Bella one a couple of times a month, but I will definitely do some of my own as well along that, if that is what you would like. So it has been brilliant. Thank you, guys. We will definitely do this again. Sarah, thank you. Hannah, yeah. Oh, yes, Jodie, demoing memory books, absolutely. Glad you're back along, Michelle, here on our screens. Oh, thank you, Kim. Do you know what? That means the world. And can I just say now, all the comments and all the love that I've got on all of my posts, it means the world to me. I can't tell, well, you know it does, but I can't tell you how much it really does mean the world to me. I love you all. Thank you all so much for waiting for me. But I am going to let you go because I've been saying it for 3 minutes now. I will see you. Definitely, you will know. I'll make sure that I post when I'm doing my next live. If anyone's got any ideas of anything that they would like to see, always drop me a message or put a message on one of my posts and ask, and we will see what we can do. Definitely. But Ciao Bella, another one will probably be in a fortnight. And again, I will let you know, definitely. But if you don't follow Ciao Bella, definitely subscribe, because I will do their lives on their page like I have tonight. Go have a look at all their crafty goodies and things like that, definitely. Choo choo train with Ciao Bella paper near Christmas. Do you know what? I was talking to my husband yesterday, and I said, I really, really want to do the train because I've got an idea for some carriages as well. And just need to find the perfect paper for it. And I will be doing that. And, oh my God, I have had the most amazing idea for, you know, those jewelry boxes that you got when you was little, and you open it up and there's the little ballerina. I'm going to be making one of those. So that is coming soon as well. So yes, I will let you all get off now. And if I can figure out how to turn it off, I mean, there's a huge thing on the screen that says end streaming. So I'm gathering that that's it. But thank you all so much. I really do appreciate all of your time with me tonight. And I will see you all. You see me reaching for my mouse, trying to figure out how to there it is. Right, I've got it. I know what I'm doing. All is good. I will see you all next time. Thank you all so much.